It's time now to take a look at stories making headlines on the front page of Nigerian newspapers. And I begin with the Nation newspaper. The major story here, why NNPCL filling stations adjusted prices by experts. And the writers there, Dangote action, a betrayal, says NLC. Dangote refinery petrol ready for sale at fuel stations. PMS rolls out of 650,000 barrels per day planned, NNPCL to determine product price. Another story here, our reforms will lead to economic growth, says Tinubu. Nigeria, China sign MOUs on power, rail construction. Ugboma shock crisis. Monarchs have no authority to interfere in religious leadership. Some stories on the front page of the Nation newspaper. We move to the Daily Times now. State of the Nation. Outrage as NNPC raises petrol price to 855 naira per litre. Experts demand incentives to help citizens grapple with hardship. You betrayed Nigerians, NLC tells Tinubu. And another story here quickly. Matawale charges troops to flush out bandits in Northwest. Food security, NIMET, DG Anusike converses farmers' insurance in Nigeria. Some stories on the front page of the Daily Times newspaper. To the Nigerian News Direct. Backlash as NNPC Limited jacks up PMS pump price to 897 naira per litre. And the riders there, NLC, NECA, motorists accuse federal government of betrayal, reneging on promises. No directive was issued to increase petrol price, the minister has come out to say. Stakeholders applaud Dangote as refinery rolls out PMS. New PMS pump price will push more Nigerians into poverty. That's what experts are saying. And come out of hiding, face justice, police there wanted Britain. And that's a developing story. The federal government signs 2 MOU with Chinese firm on renewable energy. Some stories on the front page of the Nigerian News Direct. To this Nigerian newspaper, you're fueling our pains. Nigerians express frustration as petrol hits 1,000 naira per litre, and NPCL fixes price at 855 naira to 897 naira in Lagos, Abuja. It's betrayal of agreement, NLC alleges. And the appeal court proposes constitution amendments to save governor whose deputy is disqualified. And those are some of the stories that we have on the front page of this Nigerian newspaper. To New Telegraph now. Further price hike imminent as a few hits 855 naira to 940 naira per litre. Why NNPC Limited sole buyer of Dangote PMS by sources. Federal government faces backlash as NLC accuses Tinubu of betrayal, demands reversal of electricity litres fuel hike. Accept blame for fuel crisis, Obi tells federal government. Dangote refinery presents first fuel sample. Fire threat invites Wike for questioning. PDP governor tells security agencies, says ex-governor's remarks irresponsible. Killings, deputy defense minister, military chiefs hit Sokoto as the suspected Boko Haram terrorists kill 34 worshippers in Yobe. Nigerian military capable of containing banditry like insurgency. Marwa is quoted as saying, right, some stories on the front page of the New Telegraph. To the Platform Times now. Still talking about the fuel price increase. We've been betrayed. That's what the NLC President Ajero is saying. The picture story there is that of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in China seeking completion of Ibadan-Abuja-Kano Railway project. Taswed rusticates 31 students, suspends 47 others for various offenses. And ISWAP claims responsibility for Yobe massacre, accuses village of aiding military. And that's another story here. Governor Fintiri suspects sabotage in Adamawa Hospital store inferno. Some stories on the front page of the Platform Times. To the Daily News Hub, NNPCL adjusts pump price to 800 naira as Dangote refinery begins local production of fuel. A petrol will be available at filling stations in 48 hours, Dangote assures. Refinery will supply 25 liters of petrol and daily in September, says NMDPRA. 25 million liters, I beg your pardon, right? Why we carried out Yobe mass killings, that's ISWAP's response. Your comment irresponsible, PDP governors reply, Wike. And those are some stories on the front page of the Daily News Hub. To the Salient Times now, fuel pump price increase will hike food price again, commuters, traders. And the riders there, commuters stranded in Abuja, NNPCL sells fuel at 855 naira per litre. Tricycle operators stage protest, petrol hits 1,200 in Kanu. Sold for 1,350 naira in Jigawa. Federal government tricked us. That's what the NLC is saying. And the picture story there is that of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of Nigeria and his China counterpart, Xi Jinping, while the duo are inspecting guards of honor during President Tinubu's visit to China. And the downstrip there says Tinubu Xi Jinping strengthen Nigeria-China ties. And another story here. Ghanaian journalist hugs tree for over 24 hours to set new world record. Interesting. Now, another story. Come out if you are a genuine businessman, police reply. Britain, Andrew Wayne. Some stories on the front page of the Salient Times. Ibrahim.
The first with me here is Daily Independent. Elation as Dangote assures on flooding market with petrol in 24 hours. Says refinery will show Nigeria's true petrol consumption. Assures no more importation of polypropylene from October. NNPCL to be responsible for controlling petrol pump price. Dangote to produce 25 million litres of PMS in September, NMDPRA. Police apprehend hacker who breaches national security. Childless comment on Obaseki's. Edo women protest, seek apology from Oshiomole. Shetima, Obi, Atiku, Abbas, others attend Arodwa's mother's burial. Despite denial, NNPC stations sell petrol at 87 naira per litre, others 950 naira. Increasing fuel price betrayal of Nigerian workers, Ajaero says Labour may reactivate strike, protest nationwide. On the bottom strip, monarchs conniving with illegal miners, EFCC reveals. Next is the Punch newspaper. Petrol price hike, Labour demands reversal, set to meet. Marketers await Dangote refinery pricing template as NNPCL emerges sole buyer. Oyo Monarch Council's vice chair tackles Sean over Ogbomoso chief imam. Fleeing Botox enlargement doctor now in custody, Lagos police. 34 Yobe villagers killed by Boko Haram get mass burial. Above the nameplate, hunger protest, police quiz staff of wanted Britain. PDP governors knock Wike, say Fubara Rivers party leader. Power generation hits 5,313 megawatts, first time in 3 years. Igodalo will get over 65% votes. PDP boasts APC-led government will build on Oshomole's legacy, Okpebolo. Next is Leadership newspaper. Fuel crisis, Labour demands immediate reversal of new pump price. NNPCL sells 885 naira to 940 naira per litre. Marketers 1,000 naira per litre. 125 worshippers buried in Yobe. Stock market investors lose 1.12 trillion naira in 2 months. Tinubu, Xi pledge shared future for Nigeria, China. Nigerian military capable of containing banditry. Marwa Presidential Tax Committee pushes for 10% VAT. Nigeria can become net food exporter. Bill Gates. intervene in Fulani crisis. Emir Sanusi II tells federal government. Next is Daily Trust newspaper. NLC, Nasima, others demand petrol price hike reversal. Increase will hurt businesses, worsen inflation. Citizens urge government to reconsider. Provide solution to power crisis. NERC tells Discos. We are in Sokoto to eliminate bandits. Matawale. Hashtag End Bad Governance protest. Court issues arrest warrants against Britain. Others. Yobe buries 34 victims of ISWAP attack. And then Shatima, Atiku, Barao, Obi, others throng Kasina for Aradwa's mother's burial. Emir Sanusi profiles solutions to Fulani crisis in Nigeria. Nigeria-China signed MOUs as Tinubu meets Xi Jinping. Next is Business Times. Petrol price hike unavoidable, eases subsidy burden. Stakeholders. NLC demands immediate reversal of new pump price of petrol as NECA expresses worry. Fuel pump price increase will hike food prices again. Commuters, traders. Dangote, FEC will determine price of our petrol, says his refinery will show Nigeria's true petrol consumption. Federal government to remove tax on food items, rents, others. Oyedele, standards critical to businesses, consumer protection, says SON. Sustain import waivers to agric inputs to drive production, LCCI urges federal government. Next is Business Day newspaper. NNPC lifts Dangote petrol, sells at 897 naira per litre. Dangote refinery to supply 25 million litres in September. Annual 3.5 trillion naira post-harvest loss swallows 5-year agric budget. $500 million domestic dollar bond results expected Friday. Next is Blueprint newspaper. 48 hours to Dangote rollout. NNPCL hikes fuel pump price to 897 naira per litre. Ogbomosho, monarchs lack power over chief imam's appointment. Olugbo. Ramfac backs $50 billion revenue plan from satellite commercialization to extend initiative to NIDCOMSAT for monitoring. 129 killed in Congo, attempted jailbreak. That's according to official. No going back on price hike. Flight, FCCPC replies OPS. Kaduna signs MOU with Huawei for Smart City project. Tinubu upbeat as Nigeria, China enter into strategic partnership. AFCON qualifiers, Super Eagles camp bubbles, 20 players arrive. Nature News is next. Nigeria grapples with floods, over 200 dead, 208,000 displaced in 28 states, says N. Hyperdeck. Sambo, ex-GGM NNPC, resumes as new CEO of Bilima Oil. African heads of state head to Beijing for China-Africa Cooperation Summit. PAVE leads charge against plastic pollution at UNEP regional meeting. News analysis, how global warming is hitting Africa. UNDP, AU, ECOWAS join forces to tackle Nigeria's climate change challenges. Kenya moves to make degrees mandatory for fertilizer feed sellers. Last but not least is the Nation Sport and Live. 11,000 players move in summer for $6.46 billion. Nigeria versus Benin Republic on September the 7th. 20 players train. Iheanacho arrives today. Okoye, Osimhen expected Thursday. Team lead for Kigali on Sunday for Rwanda clash. 2025 AFCON qualifier. Raw resumes training with Benin. Arsenal hand Sterling number 30 shirt. Liverpool plan to open Salah talks. Man United not ready for the title challenge. Fernandes defends under fire. Casemiro. 55 million euro salary dispute. Mbappe to meet with PSG. Chilwell won't push for Chelsea exit. And then greedy player Sancho accused of joining Chelsea for money. West Ham eye Matip. Ten Hag gets Man United's Chiefs backing. That's about it for the newspapers this morning, Veronica.
Right. And dominating the papers this morning is the story of NNPCL filling stations adjusting prices just days after they had come out to say, you know what, we are having financial challenges. We are owing certain debts. And so it's like, okay, we need to make some adjustments, even though that is not part of the statement. Now, this is me just dressing the whole thing. Although they have not come out, it's not a formal statement that was made, because from one of the papers this morning that said they reached out to the spokesperson of the NNPCL, talking about Mr. Shuneye, who put out the statement that they had financial challenges, and that's what is causing the strain on the supply of petrol, the product. He said he declined to comment, that he cannot comment at this time on, this development. But we have seen a rapid change and the impact of, this increase or this adjustment in pump price on things. This morning I was hearing people talk about where they used to spend 300 naira in terms of transportation. It's now 1,000 naira. Some other persons 2,000 naira, and they are, placing that side by side the salaries they are getting. So, how this is going to impact Nigerians on their already strained capacity to purchase item? It's already a matter that is being brought to the fore when you look at the headlines this morning. Absolutely,
it's not something to be happy about, even though we are happy that Dangote Refinery has birthed its production of petrol. But it's not really good that Nigerians will now start thinking of, okay, we're still reeling from the impact of the Eagle Square declaration of fuel subsidy is gone, and the spillover, the ripple effect on that, on prices of food and services, goods and services and all of that, food crisis and all of that. But now others are saying, listen, with the price of petrol now rising to, NNPC selling for 897 to 950 or thereabout, another filling station selling for 1,000, even though the federal government said denied that they approved the increment to 1,000 naira. It is not really good, because this will still definitely have spillover effect on all.
My question is,
prices.
If nobody gave the directive and the NNPC is declining to speak, who gave the directive? Who asked that that adjustment be made? Who is regulating all of these increments without any proper communication to the people? I mean, managing these issues are critical.
Absolutely.
It's critical. That is why we talk about strategic communication. I mean, people are already, agitating with regards to the price of goods and services. And in the midst of this, if you have intention of increasing the pump price of the product, it's important that you let the people know. And that was why that statement that came 2 days ago, some persons had said, this is not capturing the whole picture.
Absolutely.
And we had that conversation yesterday. Well, we're talking about the difference. Who pays the difference? If you say the landing cost is this, and so the cost of petrol originally should be this, but that is not what we are paying for.
Absolutely.
Who is paying the difference? Whatever name we want to call it, it's not even the issue right now. The issue is Nigerians are crying or are demanding that, this time is not the best time to increase the pump price of the product. If you say, as a minister, if you say that you did not order for that, are you calling these people to question? Are you having an engagement with these people to ask, why did you increase the price? If they say if they are not willing to speak, are you going to force them to speak? Nigerians need to know. I think it's important.
Absolutely. Dangote has actually thrown it to the NNPC, to fix the price. But, certainly they will still have conversation with
That's
Dangote.
For his product.
Yeah, they will still have Dangote. They will still have conversation with him as regards how much, because NNPC cannot say, okay, sell for 200. Dangote will look at them like, are you guys serious?
So are you saying that is why they made the adjustment?
No. So I'm just saying. So it means that we are not exactly sure, just like you said, strategic communication. It is part of what we discussed yesterday. we are not getting the communication. We're not getting the information, the actual information as to what do we need to expect. Okay, fine. You only flash us about some of the things that we need to expect, but we need accurate information, accurate data as to how you arrived at certain figures. So NLC is kicking. They are threatening to, if the price is not reversed, they will definitely go on strike, and we do not want that. They're saying that the government tricked them into accepting 70,000 naira, and others will be asking them, how come you're tricked? They need to have a conversation. Were you not on a round table? What did you discuss? How come you agreed to the 70,000 naira? Oh, so you're calling it...
What was the... oh, really?
Everybody's just looking for an alibi, just to one way or the other.
It's funny that the NLC would say that they were tricked. You had a negotiation. What did you agree on?
And it went on for several days.
Not just even
tripartite committee.
Yes.
There was strike. There was a showdown.
And people were even asking when there was an increase in the terms of electricity tariff. Was that part of your conversation?
Absolutely.
Initially, when that happened, you came out guns blazing, saying government had to revert and all of that. What's changed?
Yeah.
What happened?
At least for you to have agreed.
Did you follow through with that conversation?
Yeah.
Did you? Nothing happened. And here you are again. All the while, this is not the first time there's been an increase in pump price for this year. Right. What did you do? How did you say, or how did you put your foot on the ground to say, this should not happen? Reverse or revert it to what it should be.
Yeah.
Did that change? What would change now? That's
a very critical questions. Yeah.
What would change now? What can you do at this point where the NNPC has come out to say, you know what, we're facing financial challenges? What are you going to say? What is the kind of engagement you have had with major stakeholders here? What's the information? See, yes, down in tools.
What's and why?
Yes, you can go ahead to down tools, but is that the only thing that you can do? How about engaging to understand where we can really address issues, where are the gaps that we can bridge so that the Nigerian, the average Nigerian can breathe, as we often say?
That's the thing. So, it's so much, you've actually put a lot of questions on the table. These are questions for the NLC to answer, the Labour to answer, the NNPC to answer, NNPCL to answer, lots of questions, even for Nigerians to also sit down and say, okay, this is how we should answer these questions. But the thing is, an ordinary man on the streets will always want to think of, how do I survive the next hour? You understand? How do I survive? If I survive today, how do I survive tomorrow? How do I have access to foods? How do I have access to, transportation? How do I have access to, power? Basic amenities. Everyone will start, increasing or jacking up the prices.
Of course.
Their products and all of that. So it's a whole lot. So I don't know who is breathing. I don't know whoever is still breathing. I don't know how they're breathing. Whether the breathing is getting down to the diaphragm or it's not, or maybe it's just, on the surface.
School fees, some schools are going to resume.
Yeah.
They might also be looking at increasing school fees as it is, which is a normal thing, right? And then we'll talk about the December, Christmas and all of it. Families who want to meet. So it's a whole lot.
Ember month already.
When Ember month already. I believe that major stakeholders know what to do at this point.
Also that the Ember month will ember.
All right.
For a lot of Nigerians.
We'll have to leave the conversation.